This is Wingham Park in Greymouth. It's situated in Coal Creek, which is on the coastal highway heading towards Westport, one of the most beautiful drives, scenic drives in the world. But today it is all about a celebration of rugby league. The last time the Kiwis were in Greymouth was back in 1954. That's when the Kiwis took on the mighty Great Britain Lions here at Wingham Park in Greymouth and won that game 20 points to 14. At one stage it was the smallest test venue in the world, and believe me, they ran up behind this little tunnel right behind me there, Wingham Park in Greymouth, and they came out of this fabulous ground, which if you get a close look, and you will get a close look a little later on, it runs a bit like this. So maybe there will be a few concerns for some of the coaches as to how their players might go this afternoon. But today is about a celebration and also a day of remembrance as well. One of the great Kiwis, Bernie Green, the late Bernie Green, was taken from us in September of this year in a coal mining accident. And today both teams will be awarded Player of the Day medals called the Bernie Green Memorial Medal. So it really is a special day of remembrance, but also a very big day of celebration. And guess what? The weather here, the rugby league gods are smiling. It is absolutely fine. Time to get some thoughts from the coaches. First of all, David Lomax from the Residents about being here where it counts.
Oh mate, it's great. It's great to be here. We've been here since Wednesday, and all the people that we've met and we've spoken to have been really good, really friendly. So we've been well looked after, and the boys are, looking forward to the games today.
And a real role in helping the Kiwis defend their Tri-Nations title.
Well, first priority, that's what it's all about. This game is to make sure that we get a good effort in there, give them good preparation for their game against Great Britain. So, and all the boys appreciate that, and we know that they're going to come out and they're looking for a really good result. So, in the best interest of both sides, it's important that we both get a good performance out of this, so we help that preparation.
Brian, Rugby League Heartland, feels good, doesn't it?
Oh, it feels real good. Yeah, we're really rapt to be here.
What do you want to get out of this game this afternoon?
Oh, we want to keep some momentum going and just keep the guys in some footy. We've got probably the biggest test match of our lives next week, and we consider this as a huge opportunity for us to prepare properly.
Ready to go?
We're ready to go.
And so are the fans here at Wingham Park in Greymouth. At a conservative estimate, some 4,000 people can pack into this mighty little rugby league ground. The cars are lined almost back to Greymouth itself and over the Cobden Bridge. But there it is, Wingham Park in Greymouth. We'll see the Kiwis for the first time in 52 years against the New Zealand Residents. Time to get busy. Let's go up top, and I mean up top on the scaffolding. Peter Robart and the big dog, Costo.
Thank you, Stephen. Good afternoon, everybody, and nice to be here at a ground immortalised in New Zealand Rugby League folklore. Wingham Park on the West Coast, venue for this one-off clash between the Crisco Kiwis and the New Zealand Residents. As we have a look at the teams, the cards here for this game this afternoon, the Residents, of course, a great sprinkling of talent, some of the best up-and-comers in the domestic game here, and of course some familiar names here for some people, of course. Warriors winger Cooper Vuna among them, the coach is David Lomax.
And a lot of interest certainly will centre around the performance of their front row forwards, in particular the likes of George Turakura, signed with the New Zealand Warriors for the 2006 year. Never quite got a start, but certainly one that many have interest in.
Now the Kiwi side, of course, there have been some players quarantined for this one, including Stacey Jones, Brent Webb. Motu Tony is at fullback, and it's the return today of Lance Hohaya. Great to see him back. The coach, Brian McLennan, and Ruben Wiki is wearing jersey 18.
And good to see Ruben here recognising the contribution of the West Coast and making himself available on the bench.
Just for the record, we have got unlimited interchange here this afternoon. 18 players from either side will participate. A warm reception here for many, of course. This is a day of nostalgia. But the West Coast is turning back the clock in this true rugby league heartland. This is the biggest game in these parts since the Kiwis took on Great Britain in a test match here way back in '54.
And when you talk about warm reception in many ways as well, what we've got here is a wonderful day, and so deserving for the West Coast that the weather gods would be on their side today. This is a wonderful occasion.
Nigel Vungana leads out the Crisco Kiwis. What a dramatic week it has been for the Kiwis. We all know about that with the so-called Granny-Gate fiasco. But that has to be forgotten here this afternoon with a job to do, a chance to fine-tune their preparations for that crucial game in Wellington next Saturday night. So the players lining up here at Wingham Park facing those in the stand, which has been refurbished for this game, this special game. Stacey Jones not quite in playing kit but taking his chance here to line up for the obligatory pre-match photos. Well, the national anthem to be performed by Carolyn Williams, a local lass. Well, what a scene we have here today. Picture postcard setting.
It certainly dispels the myth of Wingham Park in folklore, considered by many to be one that is an absolute quagmire, knee-high in mud, is often the experience by so many of the years gone by. This is quite different this afternoon.
The ground in tip-top shape for this one, courtesy of the 81-year-old groundsman Frank Gibson. Done a terrific job to prepare the pitch. The Cantabrian, Glenn Black, is our man in charge today, and it will be the Kiwis running from right to left. So here we go, this one-off game. Lance Hohire back on the international scene, gets us underway, and it's the residents with first use of the football here.
Hands out! Go!
And here they go, hard and straight with Faitala from the Tamaki Leopards. Rises to play the football. They've got a pretty big pack, this resident side. George Turakura is among it. Big unit from South Auckland. He plays it back. Formerly with the Warriors. Couldn't quite get a start in first grade, but a player who certainly has plenty of bulk. And they've got some second phase going here, nice and early in the opening 60 seconds.
Go, 4.
5 short of halfway, and again they're using their bookends. Faitala crossing the midway stripe right in front of our commentary position. Black, the referee, has the arm extended. Big up and under from the 5'8". Heta, test at the back. Motu Tony is not interested. Bouncing ball, chance for the residents. What a let off for the Kiwis. Motu Tony. Well, he had no idea, or was simply not interested.
Well, some wonderful lead-up work there by the residents' side. They went through the set of 6, and then a wonderful kick on the back of Header. Monotoni just electing to let it go, spiraling in the air. But coming into the match, David Lomax made it quite clear. Their objective this afternoon is to give the Kiwis the ideal preparation. So important that they complete and stay in the game. And that's about holding on the ball. So far, great start.
90 seconds gone in this one-off clash. The Kiwis now coming up with a spill, and the residents now. Another opportunity from close range. Right in front of the horns, options left and right. They go the former, and they keep it going across now to Johnny Limmer. Canterbury Bulls. Ford will play it back here. Let's see what the residents have got. Turakura tucks it under the wing. Spent some time in the Queensland Cup. Looks for a quick play of the ball. He's stymied in that respect. The residents come across now to Fa'alongo. That's Salah playing against brother David here today. What a special occasion for that family. Byers comes the short side. Knockback's the call. They keep it going. Fiziai, he tries his best from close range. Kiwis on their own goal line. Battle stations for them. They're under pressure here, big time. Turakura, they keep it going. Now, finally, straightening up is Corey Laurie. They keep it going once more. They're not wrapping up the ball carrier. They go for the intercept. Glenn Black, what have you done? He let play continue. Luckily, I reckon they've got it right. There's been some justice here because the residents, they've still got the football. More pressure on the Kiwis. Fa'atala powering towards the goal line.
Get on, right here, movement.
Quite remarkable opening 3 minutes of this game.
2 holes.
They come the left side, looking for runners. They're going to try and get it in the corner here, and crashing over out wide. Cooper Vuna went so close for the residents.
Certainly a lot of possession, a lot of ball at the right end of the football field. They got a repeat set. With the Kiwis unable to control coming off their line, they spilled the ball. Gave them a little bit more, and they've certainly been able to apply pressure. Admire the pass there of Byers. Outstanding. 7 players involved in this game, the resident side involved in the Bartercard final. So there is an element of physical conditioning, a bit of fitness. But Tame Tupo just being able to force him into touch on the far side.
Talk about some tackling practice for the men in black. New Zealand now. They spread it, and there's a big overlap, and going straight down the sideline. Vatu Vai. Just like that, New Zealand have travelled something like 70-odd metres.
Yep.
Hohaya stepping and weaving his way through some traffic. 20 metres out from the residents' goal line. They come this right side. Goodenbeal, can he slip it? He takes the tackle. The idea was there, but the opportunity was there. They keep it going, New Zealand. It comes across to Lawaki, getting a chance to play for the Kiwis today. A special moment for him too. And a kick into the in goal. It was well read at the back.
Of course it was.
And it all started down the far end, and it certainly highlights the difference between these two sides. We've got the amateurs up against the pros.
Let's go.
And Manu Vatuvei just stretching out. Had some good support on the inside and Frankie Pritchard. But to be able to turn defence into attack, all in a set of 6, advance up the other end of the football field. The challenge for the resident side, how they can stay in the game physically and mentally.
A dropout and a big one, 50 on the fly. Jason Kalis cuts it back upfield. Big man he is.
George.
What a year he has enjoyed with St Helens in the north of England under former Kiwi coach Daniel Anderson. Now what a pass it was. It came across to Row Party. Brilliant. Just brilliant. The pass was an absolute corker. Great support play. Glenn Black obliges, and the Kiwis get us underway at Greymouth. 6 gone, New Zealand 4, residents no score.
They travelled something like 100 metres in a set of 6, and then were able to force a repeat. But look at this. This is just absolute class. Blair being able to just step, command some attention, and then Jerome Rowe Party being able to find a line, run an angle. This kid is just outstanding. He's got all the skills. All credit of Melbourne Storm and the way that they prepare the youngsters to be able to come to a game like this, join the Kiwi squad, and not have to labour the little things. He's well drilled. Nice try, Jerome.
Jerome Rowe Party steaming onto the pass.
Wonderful skills though. Front rower Adam Blair. You know, the ability to either take it himself. He's got the speed, he's got good feet. When you talk about good feet, not only Blair, but you look at the likes of Lauaki as this game goes on. There's a kid on screen now, only a youngster from the far north, and he's been quite outstanding. Lance O'Hare, he's been gone for a while, and good to have him back in the number 7.
He's been certainly out of favour at Mount Smart this season. He has had his issues with injuries, of course, in recent times. Lance O'Hare, for the record, he only missed a handful of games last year for the Warriors. $20 out from goal, he's hooked it. So a miss for Lance O'Hare. Rowe Party with the try. 7 gone at Wingham Park. It's the Kiwis at 4-0.
Wonderful sight this. Yeah. Quite the opposite of what we've expected and what we've seen in years gone by. They've all given up the day at the white bait to come to the rugby league here at Wingham Park.
Well, there's a bit of that going on as we cross the bridge.
Well, I'm a little concerned. There is a quota. There is a quota when it comes to white bait here, Costo, so don't get on the plane with what you've got in your belly.
Speaking of bellies, there might be a few full tonight. This game has been a long time coming for the locals. I know that Peter Kerridge, the West Coast Rugby League chairman, has been counting the days. He's done a magnificent job in securing the game, promoting the game as the Kiwis now bring it away from their danger zone after withstanding some early pressure here. They are the ones who have got the scoring underway. Here's Gutenbiel, the old stager, the now departed warrior. 10 short of halfway, centre of the ground. Kiwis takes them on. Big inroads. What a carry. Fifth and final has been signalled by referee Black. They come to Ho higher. There's the kick in behind the line. And getting back there, Oru, the fullback, getting some work, earning his keep here this afternoon, you'd reckon.
Well, he's going to get a lot of work this afternoon because that was well executed as well. They saw it coming 2 plays out. Lance O'Hire directing traffic, push Dean Hullatow, keep it going. What I like at the moment is the options he got in the acting half. You got Dean Hullatow with the number 9 on his back, but Motu Tony coming up from the fullback position just slots in quite comfortably as well when Dean's out of play. An opportunity for a lot of these players on show this afternoon as perhaps consolidate, look for a position as they look to face up, as Blue McLennan said, perhaps their biggest test, Wellington, Great Britain.
Well, to put it bluntly, McLennan really has more options around the dummy half now than he had at the start of the Gillette Tri-Nations, as we see some sloppy play centre of the ground, and the scraps have been accepted by the Kiwis right on the halfway line. Ropati, the try scorer, has a go himself out of dummy half. Opening 10 minutes of the game, Lawaki, you can't miss him with a hairstyle like that.
And at the moment the Kiwis content to play out the pattern. 1-2 off the ruck, just keep it nice and tight, nice and simple. Blair again showing some feet before the line. And it's that sort of stuff that happens before the line that just puts a defensive line in 2 minds as to what comes. Hullatow finds Hohire.
And he spreads it in turn. Motu Tony, what a pass back to Ropati, backing up like a good 5'8". He's already got one. He plays it back. Hullatow, a sense of urgency. Hohire floats it over. She goes in the corner. The Kiwis are spreading it, but there's great defence, and they are denied. Big pressure out wide. Tame Tupou, he had a crack, but he misses out.
Good defence there by the residents, but also great vision. You know, the confidence. Motu Tony, he's been good up the back. Apart from that early start, allowing the ball to bounce, he's been busy. He's been getting involved. Nice offload there, finding Jerome again. Finding some good lines, but the confidence, someone like Lance O'Hire has been out of it for so long. He saw it on the wide. He gave it like 20 metres and just denied. Good start.
Donnie Aiken from the Canterbury Bulls on tackle 1 here for the residents. Shane Myers working it out of dummy half there. What a play he has been for the Bulls. Stacks on the mill, but it went backwards according to Black, and fair enough. The residents still in possession, just beyond their own 20-metre line. And now carting it upfield. Tala to the 30-metre mark, centre of the ground. Needing some go forward here, the residents. And just for a moment, I thought there might have been a one-on-one strip there. Interesting technique and carrying the ball. Big shot put on by Blair. He didn't miss Willie Heta. He gave him everything bar the kitchen sink with the kick.
Well, he's a big number 6, this Willie Heta, but he certainly managed to get a little bit of boot on it. And now Tame Tupou and all sorts of traffic.
Tupou says, come and get me if you're good enough. And here's the tackle. Just launched himself at the big 5'8".
Just keep an eye on that number 12 for the residents, Salafalongo. I've never seen one who can get and rip in defensively as strong or as tough as he can. Look for the collision between him and his brother.
Family reunion. Passing before the line, Gutenbiel. Oh, the head went back rather awkwardly. That was nasty. Somehow, Blair rises to play the football. The Melbourne Storm forward. What a year, as you say, Peter, he had at Olympic Park. Some concerns there for him in back play. We'll come back to that shortly. if we can on the last. They go to road party. Nice transition. Now they run it on the last. Was the pass forward? No, says the referee. Vatu Vai with the kick. Here's the chase. And getting back there, Fizier from the Auckland Lions, and just as well.
Not quite getting the result that they wanted. Tony saw something on the outside, but if nothing else, it kept them going forward. Now look to their defensive game to trap the residents in there.
Peter Adam Blair less than comfortable. He's just come off, and Nathan Kalis has gone on. He was shaking his head, unsure what it is at the moment. Didn't look very comfortable. I'll check with the doc in just a moment.
Adam Blair just went back, and you don't like to see that at any level in rugby league.
Well, particularly I think when you've got a game like this one, and it's one of those evils, unnecessary evils, or evils that you need to have.
It could take you back to Carlisle Park, couldn't it, to that World Cup warm-up where Stacey Jones broke his arm against Tonga. That was what a lot of us were looking when we had a quick look at the park. So, you know, you do have concerns. And Adam Blair is one of those players that really does want to push for a starting spot on Saturday night at the Cape Town.
But a good opportunity for Nathan Kalis. Hasn't he been outstanding coming off the bench?
So the New Zealanders, the Kiwis, have got it across the halfway line, and here is Nathan Kalis, former Kiwi captain, Parramatta stalwart, and now brother Jason. Tall man out the back door, fancy stuff. Motu Tony keeps it alive, and now Ho High with the kick. Here's the chase. Tui Samoa is back there for the residents, the winger. He links up now with Oru and the Waikawa Bay Stallions fullback. He can be dynamic, as we've just seen.
You talk about reaction and speed. He's certainly one of the best in the Barter card competition. Junior Aurora. Good feet, good speed.
We've got another Kiwi down, boys. It looks like Nathan Kalis in that tackle. Doesn't look happy. He's up but slightly groggy.
Well, we talk about trial matches being necessary evils. Well, there was always going to be some evil about this game. This was always a possibility. And here we have a knock-on against the residents. Hayden Davis, who came into the side today because of the injury to former Warrior Julian O'Neill from the Wellington Orcas, with the mistake.
We talk about preparation in terms of conditioning as well. When you look at the conditions that they've been called upon to play today as well, it's quite warm down here in the West Coast, sitting up around the 20 degrees.
If I was a betting man looking at that replay, took a hit on the snout.
Yeah, it's it.
And the fact that the doc and the physio holding his nose as well, yeah.
On your dog.
New Zealand now, the Kiwis, with Lance O'Hire acting half, working the short side. Epilahami Lawaki attracting 3 defenders. They struggled to put him on the deck. So we passed the quarter of an hour mark at Greymouth, and this is enterprising play. Motu Tony, Johnny on the spot backing up. It's one-on-one, a tackle that had to be made by Oru, the residents fullback. O'Hire goes across to Pritchard, back on the inside. Soliola, Yosia Soliola is so close. No penalty forthcoming. He tries to milk it. Now to Ropati the 5'8", just a metre or so out from the line. One more to play with for the Kiwis. Hallertau goes to O'Hire, a dab off the upright. A chance for New Zealand, but not quite. Held up is the ruling here from referee Glenn Black. Right under the crossbar. So, for the second time here this afternoon at Wingham Park, we have a goal line dropout against the residents.
And if anything, when you're looking to get a game under your belt, which will allow you to prepare yourself, being able to find repeat sets, it's exactly what the coach has ordered. Be able to build some pressure, but you certainly got some assistance when you drop out from under your post and you got a win behind you.
Well, it was just, if it was fired out of a cannon, my goodness.
Well, there's a good breeze happening down there at the moment, and you've also got a bit of slope here at Wingham Park. You shouldn't underestimate that. But some good power behind that one. And there it goes, rolling down. Quite extraordinary, this field. One winger could be on one side and not see the one on the other side. An inverted slope.
Well, it brings back memories of Thrum Hall at Halifax in the north of England. One of those peculiar grounds that have got these characteristics as Ropati looks to promote the football. Over the top she goes. Vatuvai, the man they call the Beast, sucking them in. And eventually he does go to ground. Couple of metres in from the sideline. They go across to Hohire. And the Waikato product puts it back to his Waikato, or Waikawa Bay, I beg your pardon, teammate in Junior Oru, who was seeing plenty of action in the opening 17.5 minutes. Pace of the game was always going to be a test for David Lomax and his men here today.
Well, there's no doubting that they're going to be able to stay in this game. At the moment, the completion is reasonably solid. They're being able to play out. So they're going to get to half-time and possibly even get into the third quarter. It's the final quarter that's really going to be a telling factor on this side. Ward, the local hero. Good meters.
A barnstorming run it was. Here's a penalty, here's a piggyback. Charging run, a bullocking run by Davis. Running at the Kiwis 5/8 Ropati. He said, get out of my way.
Next line. I'm here we are.
Quick sideline update, lads. Nathan Kalis, broken nose, put back in. The doc told me it was sort of moving towards his eye, but that's okay. And a mild sprain to the left ankle of Adam Blair.
So an early casualty list for Brian McLennan. High shot has been called here by referee Black. Lawaki and Co forced to retreat. And Willie Heta with the touch finder.
Quick further update. Adam Blair is good to go again. The doc's just wandered over and said he'll go back on.
Yeah, it's a good look coming out of Nathan's nose, isn't it? A broken nose. You can feel it from here.
Here's Packer. Powered up Packer. His brother Russell, junior Kiwi captain, comes across to Davis. He will go very close. They try to help him across the stripe. The Kiwis got there in numbers just in the nick of time. Byers goes deep across to right, and they keep it going. A kick, crossfield kick, looking for Samoa. Will they get the bounce? No way. Enterprising play though from the residents. Good pressure. They will get 6 more.
And give them a lot of confidence as well, with Auru being able to find a nice little touch over the top, put it in the corner, and just enough to be able to force one of the Kiwi defenders to get in there and play the ball. I think it was Motu Tony comes in. Nice play. A lot of talk coming into this match. It was certainly going to be made a little bit tougher for the Kiwi side. Look to try and stress them as much as possible. So far, the residents have been able to play the footy.
Junior Oru, well, it was almost a mix-up. In the end, sanity prevailed. So the residents with back-to-back sets looking to fire some shots across the bow of the Kiwis. Byers goes to the left side and they keep it going. This man has been busy. Hayden Davis from the capital.
But look for number 7, Calvin Wright, when it comes back to the right.
The residents on the charge here with Wayne McDade. 11 metres out, centre of the ground. Right. He goes to ground. They chew up a tackle rather easily. One more to play with here. They come across to Heta, the go-to man, into the in goal. Will it pull up? Motu Tony forced to play at the football. He plants it in the field of play. No, says the referee. Well, the idea was right. He planted the football across the try line from his point of view, looking for a play of the ball. Watch the replay here. And the referee says no, it was on the stripe in fact.
Nice touch there by Header again, the number 6 for the residents. Motu Tony being able to recover it.
Let's go, lads.
Play a little bit of risk there, but that man on screen, nice touch.
Some changes being made by Brian McLennan.
Low boys, ruck your area, work the ruck your area.
Midway through the first half is Davis on the return. He gets some punishment. David Fa'alongo.
Wait.
Keen to meet his brother Salah. Look for that collision.
Should be a goodie. Here's Packer. Taken on the 20-metre line. They come back across to Heta. He looks for runners. The ball goes to ground. McDade couldn't collect it, and the Kiwis have got it.
Disappointing end there for the residents. Would have been good if McDade had been able to retain that ball. 2 sets back to back. Nice touch.
And the Kiwis with Ho higher. He's gone straight past the fullback. He'll look to go all the way. Hasn't got the pace. He comes back to Soliola with a flat pass. Players allowed to continue.
And that's exactly what perhaps Lance should have done, is pin his ears and go for that corner.
Alatau goes to Wiki, playing in 18. The Kiwi captain coming off the bench. High shot on Wiki. And the penalty has been given. Quick tap and go, looking for 4 from close range. Alatau runs into a wall of white jumpers. Hohia at first receiver. Lowaki, this big unit, bullocking towards the stripe. They chop him down. Ropati acting half, goes the short side. The Kiwis are building in the corner and going close. Bungana, he must be a centimetre short of the line. Somehow he is shut down. They miss out Lowaki, they go to Hohia. The ball goes to ground, it bounces off Asatasi, and the residents have got the Steeden.
That ball wasn't for Asatasi, it should have gone wider. There was another option on the outside. Getting inside that 10 metres there, started to shut up shop rather than looking for the ball.
Hold. 1.
Sucking in the big ones here, the New Zealand residents, understandably, playing up in company here today, make no mistake.
Movement.
The residents using their big men. They don't come much bigger than Big George, but he has come up with a fumble here, looking to promote the football. George Tuakura, former squad member with the Warriors, putting a little bit more pressure on his teammates.
And perhaps one of those opportunities so close, but millimetres away. It looks as though it's actually gone over and on the line there for Maine. Referee black things otherwise. Kiwis got possession, midfield. Good set play.
Costo talking about the Warriors, standing for the residents on the sideline, waiting to come on. The man they call Fluff, Cliff Beverley, former Warrior himself.
Yes, 99 to 2001, spent some time in the north of England. In Cumbria, or as they say up in those parts, Cumbria. Beverley on the park. Almost 25 minutes gone here, and the residents getting out of danger, going to ground here. This is Kelvin Wright, the Auckland Lions scrum feeder, plays it back. Corey Laurie offloading before the line. Salah Fa'alongo, who spent some time also in the north of England under Frank Endicott at Widnes before coming home. The residents now looking to penetrate the line. They are 30 metres out. Biases will go the right side to Fa'alongo. And it's been intercepted by big Frank Pritchard. Has he got the pace? He goes past the fullback. Good support play too. David Fa'alongo was backing up, and the ball has been spilt after all of that.
Your ball.
It's been a couple of periods. Passages of play that have been disappointing by the Kiwis. That's here being able to take the intercept. Frankie Pritchard just straightens it up. He looks for support and he has plenty of it coming. Soliola on the outside, but then he finds Fa'alongo. And it's here Manu Vatave unable to take the ball. But well anticipated, the good lead-up work. Unfortunately, the finish just all coming a little unstuck. Disappointed with the play when they got the turnover midfield as well from the scrum. An opportunity from set play. They turned it over and tackled one as well. That is perhaps what would be disappointing for Coach Bluey McLennan.
One, straight up, Harvey.
The residents in possession here. 5 short of halfway. Bentley plays it back.
Bit of a cheer going up on the sideline. Costo. James Ward, the West Coaster, is about to get the ball here right now. Is played for the Canterbury Bulls last year, then came back to play rugby union this year on the coast. But they love their own down here, don't they?
Well, they do. Popular player, part of the grand final winning side, Ranunga side, that is, here in the West Coast competition. In fact, kicked the winning field goal.
Well, when you talk about loving their own, you think of some of the greats, and of recent times, I guess, the likes of Brent Stewart, Quentin Pongia, Fetu Taiwa, some great names.
The Residents keeping the ball alive. Samoa down the sideline, and it goes over the sideline.
Black foot.
I think he's calling it off the Kiwis.
No.
He has.
He played it.
6 more coming up here for the Residents.
Played it, mate. You played it. Right here. No, mate. He kicked it.
He got the kick away, and Glenn Black is saying that Roy Asatasi has played the football. Peter, you're looking at me. You're not convinced.
No, I think it just goes back to what we said earlier on, which is just about maybe looking to stress the Kiwis as much as possible. The rub of the green will not go the Kiwis' way this afternoon. That's exactly what they want.
The Residents come across here to Heta, and the 5/8 shovels it out. Fiziai, he goes to ground. This is tackle 1. Beverly looking to spark the Residents. The ball pops out across to Packer, and over the sideline she goes. Early in the tackle count, David Lomax would not be impressed.
Cliff Beverly, certainly an afternoon for many to renew old acquaintances. Lance Ohio back in the fold. Cliff Beverly playing out of the Waitakere in the Barter Card competition.
Shantae Harvey joins me sideline, boys, and I know he's just champing to get out there. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good at the moment.
Let's go.
Quite frustrating watching the boys play, you know, and boys putting a lot of ball down, but just can't wait to get back out there.
Quiet start, disappointing start, would you say?
Yeah, I think the guys just trying to overplay a bit, and you know, turning the ball over and play 1 and play 2, and just trying to force the passing stuff. But if we can hang on to the ball and just grind the sets, I'm sure we'll march them up the field and score tries.
Mate, I know the one question everybody wants to know. We're going to see you in Wellington playing?
Yeah, definitely. I hope so. I mean, I'm running now, so I'm hoping that I'll be back for Wellington.
That was very quick, definitely. Then I hope so. You'll be talking to coach then, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be hoping I'll get selected first, so fingers crossed.
That was the more diplomatic answer. Well done, Shani. Thanks for the time.
Cheers, bro.
No wonder he's whispering. Looking ahead to next Saturday, of course, we see a penalty here to the Kiwis. Yes, all roads do lead to the cake tin. After what has happened in the past couple of days, the Kiwis stripped of their 2 competition points in the Gillette Tri-Nations, but it's back on next Saturday. Sky Sport 1 from 7:30, our coverage. Kiwis in Great Britain. It's the Kiwis on the attack with a penalty.
Peter, it would be fair to suggest, though, that Shantae Harvey will be a huge bonus if he is fit and ready to go at the Cake Tin, considering his performance in Melbourne.
Oh, absolutely, Stephen. The question, I guess, is physically whether or not he's going to be in that. There's certainly a lot of optimism, but wish him well. It'd be great to see him on board.
Trust me, Peter, my inside sources, he will be ready.
Well, the Kiwis, they're ready to score try number 2 here today. This is Simon Mannering. Mannering is close. The only South Islander in this Kiwi side here today. They're 10 metres out. Row Party will set it up just beautifully. He laid it on a platter, and Roy Asatasi, the Dally M prop of the year, he dots down. The Kiwis get their 2nd try of the afternoon after half an hour.
And a nice touch of class in that one, Roy Asatasi. They shifted wide, and there's some good width in that one, but here where you got plenty of decoys running, the attention there was all on Ruben Wecky. Many expecting them to receive the ball, but it goes on the outside. His front row partner, Roy Asatasi. Well constructed, well completed.
Arguably the best signing for the new look South Sydney Rabbitohs for 2007.
Spoke with Roy Asatasi a few weeks back. Can't wait to be in Gladiator 3.
There might be a few queuing up there at Redfern.
Mate, dead said, look at him though, he looks like The Rock. Yeah.
You watch far too much television.
I didn't know that Terry Hermanson looked like that.
No, I'm referring to the Samoan Rock.
Thank you for those explanatory notes. Here's Lance Ohio, made his test debut as a teenager.
Talking about movies, there you go, there's one.
This time he makes the correction, if you like. He raises the flags for the first time today. The fans are happy. Kiwis at 10-0 over the Residents.
And later in the game, expect to see a lot more of the footwork of not only Roy Asatasi, but also Lauaki as well. Tame Tupou has been reasonably well controlled in the corner.
You're in your 18 metres. Yep. Stay behind.
back underway, and this restart provides a kind bounce right in front of the grandstand. Lovely day, it must be said, here on the West Coast. The league guides are certainly smiling on this true dinky-die rugby league heartland.
And that last try scored there by Roy Asatasi just highlights the modern game of football. How quick you've got to react defensively to make the right decisions, to be able to execute the tackle. So many decoys being thrown at you. We see it with the Kangaroos, the Great Britain side. You've got to make the right decisions. You've got to do it quick.
Guttenbeil goes to ground, 5 metres, resident side of halfway. And now zipping out a dummy half, scheming, Hallertau, flung to ground on the 30-metre line. Fifth and final option, coming off the boot of Lance Hohire. Puts it down in the corner here, looking to trap the residents. The idea was certainly good, couldn't get the repeat set.
But look to get it now through your defensive work. Look to jam him into the corner, restrict the yards.
Well, this has been certainly a game and brave. Opening 33 minutes from the residents, considering the firepower they are up against today. No Stacey Jones, of course, and no Brent Webb. Number of players being rested ahead of the crunch game next Saturday at the Westpac Stadium in the capital.
Some good talent on show in the residents. We shouldn't overlook they were the winners of the quadrangular tournament earlier this year. Some good up-and-coming talent sprinkled with perhaps some of the older hits and the likes of Turakura and co. Shane Byers been around for a long time. Giving the Kiwis everything they want. Well received there by Tupou, goes to Motu.
Not a bad defensive set there for the Kiwis. All of a sudden they find themselves ball in hand. Tackle one, 6 metres short of halfway. Mannering hands it on across to Soliola, looking to light it up at Wingham Park. Soliola, we've got a rooster on the loose, and he's rounded up 6 minutes before half-time. Hohire taking on the line, 3 in the tackle. 10 metres out, or thereabouts. They come back this left side with Guttenbeil passing before the line. Blair, what a pass, going to ground as Hallertau, tackle that had to be made. Right in front of the sticks. And coming straight up the middle, looking to score now at New Zealand, putting a lot of pressure on the residents. They go the right side. Vangana dabbing it in behind the line, too much weight on that.
You'll note too that Nigel Vagana wearing headgear today. Just checked on why, because we don't normally see Nigel headgear. His braids aren't done.
This break here by Soliolo. Unfortunate that Manu Vatave normally would have been on his outside there in the wing position. He was caught up in the previous play on the inside. Soliolo had no support, so he had to venture in on the inside. Missed opportunity.
Don't work out. Hold your hold.
Less than 5 minutes to go before Oranges here at Wingham Park.
Surrender! Broke his leg.
On a day when the light will certainly turn back the clock. It's the biggest sporting fixture in this neck of the woods for some decades. The biggest rugby league game since 1954 when the Lions came to town to take on the Kiwis.
And this set of 6 highlighting the difference defensively between the two. Shane Byers in the acting half right now, been restricted in the running game, not been given the opportunities, but nice little touch as they look to go down the far side.
Beverly with the kick, Tony with the chase. It will pull up in the end goal. What a kick, what a play. Arguably one of the plays of the game, if not the play of the game. Look at the enthusiasm from the residents. Beverly with the kick, former Warrior himself, giving the Kiwis something to think about.
You talk about constructing. You couldn't ask for anything better. They got some good lead-up work there by the forwards. Nice, simple, effective play. But again in that corner, it rolls end on end. And then some great chase as well, making the kick an absolute star. 3 of them just jamming in Motutoni.
Cooper Vuna leading the charge. So we have another goal line dropout coming up. Hohire sends us into the next passage of play. And some soccer skills coming to the fore there for Junior Oru.
Enjoyed the energy and the effort of the Wellingtonian, Hayden Davis. Loves to rip in, loves the physical contact.
Ripping in now is McDade. The Aucklander plays it back. Byers has got it. He comes across to Corey Laurie, a late bloomer, if you like, off to join the Warriors for 2007 from the Canterbury Bulls. And now on the rampage, Fa'alongo, that's Salah. Only a couple of metres out here, something building perhaps for the residents. Beverley's got it, tries to beat a couple of would-be tacklers. Now he goes to ground. One more to survive here for the Kiwis. Will they run it on the last? Yes, that's exactly what they do, and it backfires for the residents.
All they need is one or two more players running decoys, but they can put a little bit more doubt in the mind of the Kiwi defenders. No, he's all good. But if they can just throw a little bit more doubt in the defensive line by throwing some decoys or giving them some options at the moment, all too predictable. The player with the ball in the hand has one play, and that's about shifting it. Shifting it to his left. Nothing coming on the inside.
Motu Tony looking a little bit bashed.
Well, he's copped a bit up the back there this afternoon. Right from the outset, the opening kick.
A spill here from the Kiwis. Dear oh dear. Guttenbeil looking up at the referee, looking for some sort of helping hand. Glenn Black was not interested, one iota.
And wouldn't a full-pointer now set your stall coming into the break 3 minutes out.
Going across field, the residents looking for holes, looking for something. Making the tackle, Soliola. Fa'alongo running at the men in black, and the ball's been stripped. Jason Kalis, it was, who just reefed it out.
I just looked at the ball there that the number 7 Calvin Wright gave to Fa'alongo, and he was intent on having a go at the line. Nice little touch, nice meters gained. And Jason Kalis just being able to get in there and rip out as well.
The Kiwis now coming up the short side. Blair, who suffered an injury scare in the opening exchanges. Guttenbeil, his old stager, who gave outstanding service to the Warriors, plays at 10 short of halfway. Here's Ohio, here's the kick. It's been charged down, bouncing ball now. Coming through his row party. Nice dish back there. That's excellent work from the New Zealand residents, reading the play well. Cliff Beverley it was. He's been around, and after that, you can see why that he's a heads-up type player.
Try, keep him down. 3. Here we are.
So in the shadows of half-time here in this one-off game at Greymouth on the West Coast, a little kick over the top from the halfback, Kelvin Wright. The Kiwis have got the ball, and on the rampage now is Tupou. Big man, isn't he?
Wright and Beverley, they were scheming on that one. And it's Calvin Wright, the number 7. Needs to bring a little bit more of that, and perhaps even a little bit more of a running game.
This is quite a remarkable scoreline on a dry track. The Kiwis leading by just 10 points to nil, 2 tries. First one to Row Party, and then backed up by Azatazi. And there goes the half-time siren at Greymouth here at Wingham Park on this day of nostalgia. The West Coasters have turned out in good numbers. And at the split, 2 tries to nil is the equation, and it's the Kiwis leading the residents 10 points to nil. It's been a big couple of days for Brian McLennan with these off-field dramas, being stripped of the points from the Tri-Nations victory last week. Today, he's looking to get some combinations, give some players like Ohio an opportunity, and he is certainly making the most of it, the Huntly Hurricane. 10-0 at the split. Stick with us. More from the West Coast right after the break.
10-0 at half-time from Wingham Park in Greymouth in this one-off match between the Kiwis and the residents on a beautiful West Coast afternoon. Some of the future talent of rugby league playing out in the middle, the mini-mods, town versus country. There's one colour that I do understand. It's the little kids in the deep blue and the stripes, the red and orange stripes, Cobden Kona. When I was down this way, Cobden Kona was my sort of team. one man that knows what it's a bit like to be a coach, but also a 31 Test Kiwi, the great Tony Cole. You boys in Marist used to love having a crack at Cobden Carnell, didn't you, Tony?
Oh, absolutely, Steve. That was one of the teams we used to love to beat, yeah.
And you beat them plenty, right?
Oh, several times we beat them, yeah. They were. That was when we were sort of reigning at the top through the 70s and 80s, yeah.
Tell me the whole idea of having the Kiwis in town. You run Cole Sports there in Mackie Street. How much has there been a buzz about this game this week?
Oh, well, I mean, that's emphasised by the crowd here, the number of people that are here, Steve. I mean, right through the whole week, it's just been a buzz. I mean, you can see by the number of people around the paddock. I don't think this crowd's ever been here since way back in the days of when they had the test back in 1954, which I obviously can't remember that. But, I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic for the town. It's done great for rugby league on the West Coast.
And just briefly, Tony, you'd like to see the Kiwis get a little more earnest and attack in the second half, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're certainly not showing any intensity out there, and I don't think Blue would be too happy with the way they've played at the moment, and obviously they'll be pretty happy they're not playing a test today either.
All right, thanks for your time, mate.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Okay.
Tony Cole, 31 Test and a great West Coaster, is it that? All right, let's go up top with the boys and check out what happened in the first half.
Thank you, Stephen. Well, what happened? Jerome Road Party got right into the action. What a beautiful pass it was from Adam Blair. As I call it, Peter, he's just set it up on a platter.
There was some great lead-up work, and when you've got feet and able to put some feet on before the defensive line, also good. Nigel Vagano came so close and actually looked at first glance as though he got it over the line. Denied, but look at the width from this pass here, finding Jerome. Good decoy running there by Ruben Wickie, the defensive line of the Residents, just not reading it well, allowing themselves to commit too much attention, leaving Roy Asatasi unmarked, and they find the results. Possession favouring slightly in favour of the Kiwis, 53-47. But the completion rate, certainly New Zealand Residents, they recognise coming into this match, if they're to be able to throw some competition in front of the Kiwis, they need to be able to complete. But it's perhaps, as Tony Cole suggested, the intensity that's lacking in the Kiwis that's kept them in.
So missed tackles, obviously a concern for the Residents. Okay, let's go downstairs, and Stephen is with Mr. Football in this part of the world.
Yes, Peter Kerr is the chairman of the West Coast Rugby League, and a bit like Costa, too, an amateur historian in the game. This must bring back some wonderful memories for you, Peter.
Absolutely. I don't know how many here today, but I normally wouldn't count past about 500, and so here we are, a wonderful crowd. And yes, I mean, I guess some of the club finals in yesteryear, in your time.
Well, thanks very much. That was a long time ago. Let's talk about the whole idea that the game came into being. It was a short notice, wasn't it? But it's been a lot of hard yakka.
Yes, I think we were lucky, the nature of the team being, the Kiwis being in the South Island, and there's another test at the 2-week gap, and what should they do? And what better than to come to the West Coast? And what started off as just a visit for R&R then turned into a game. Well,
tell me, when you look at the crowd, you look at the weather you have turned on, has it been worth it?
I think so. I'll sleep well tonight.
All right, well, thanks for your time. Thanks for putting on a great game of footy so far.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, Peter Kerr is the chairman of the West Coast Rugby League. As we leave you for a moment at Wingham Park in Greymouth, the Kiwis lead the Residents 10-0. You know there is more on the other side, so don't go far.
It's ending. Now the
I'll have Tony Iro after the break, just for once they kick off, I think. Okay. Martin Scorsese returns to the coast. over. Second half just about. Jersey change as well. The referee's in a jersey by the jersey change too for the referee in blue now. Referee now in blue. Sponsor issues. Oops. Tony will be good to go pretty much straight away. How long are we back? How far are we from being back, Matthew? Okay. Nil at half-time here at Wingham Park in Greymouth, all set to go in the second half as Glenn Back, the referee, in a changed shirt because of some sponsor conflict, is ready to go. Tony Ira quickly, not the flashes first half by the Kiwis.
No, we've made a few errors and we've really kept them in the game, but having said that, you know, the boys have defended well. They've had a lot of pressure on their line, and to be fair, I think the resident side have really played above themselves, and they're giving us a good hard hit out. All
right, see some more points in the second half?
I hope so. You know, we just want to be disciplined and practice the things we want to try against Great Britain next week, and you know, it might not be flash, but it's a type of football we think will be successful against Great Britain next week.
All right, thanks. Now let's get this game underway.
Okay, so we are right for kick-off now. Referee Black with his new strip gets us back underway. High with the catch. So the Kiwis, just the 2 tries. It would have been interesting to be maybe a fly on the wall. I was going to say in the sheds at the split, but of course both teams enjoying the sun. Here as we see a strip, if there ever was one, 2 in the tackle. No, there wasn't. He said it was a knock on Glenn Black.
Costo, the New Zealand residents have certainly given the Kiwis something to think about in that first half. Their assistant coaches, 8-test Kiwi, Sammy Parnapa. Sammy, you'd be reasonably happy with that first half?
Very happy, yeah, very happy indeed.
Do you think you're doing enough to test the Kiwis for next week?
Yeah, I think we've been happy with the way the boys have been competing, and you know, certainly with 50% of our completion rate shows that, you know, we're definitely in the game.
And you will be even further in the game if this one continues on, won't you?
Yes, well, sometimes, you know, coaches, you know, dread having half times come around, but, you know, we'll wait and see.
Right, thanks for your time, Sam.
Thanks.
Opening 60 seconds of the second stanza, and it's the residents, illegitimately, if you ask me, in possession. There was a strip, the referee missed it. It doesn't matter now because the Kiwis, they've got to roll up the sleeves and make some tackles. It comes to Corey Laurie, the Cantabrian, offloads, he got it back to right, and the residents, number 7, will play it back here. They come this right side, and the residents have come up with a big spill, and they've made a meal of it.
Take the point from Tony Iro at the half-time break there, that what they're looking to do is play a game that they think will suit them when they come up against Great Britain. So look for an improvement in their line speed, their completion, and also when they go a little bit wider, be able to construct a little bit more.
Let's go, lads. Let's go.
Making some good meters in the centre, but it's the wide game that's lacking a little.
Vangana, headgear and all. Well, because of that hairstyle. And the Kiwis, what an offload that was. New Zealand now making some inroads, big inroads. Soliola keeps it going. Here's Mannering. And he has to offload. He does offload. They keep it going. This is exciting rugby league here at Greymouth. Hot potato stuff. It's going through hands galore. And now it comes to Hull higher. And finally, we have a tackle. Goodenbeal shows it, goes straight through and is chopped down 10 metres out. Motu Tony, Ho-High with the step, Ho-High for the line, is very close indeed. All on the back of that big play downtown. Here's Ropati, there's the step coming back towards the uprights. One more tackle to play with here for the Kiwis, searching for their third try of the afternoon. Motu Tony will be wrapped up on the last. That's tremendous defence from the residents. They were under the pump, all because of this big break.
Well, it all started Manu Vatave getting involved in a great little offload out the back there to Soliolo. But it's going on from here, the ability to find that second phase play, find the offload. Soliolo does well, but Mannering does even better. Commands a huge amount of attention, has a number of defenders around him, but his height allowing him to find the offload. A great defence by the resident side to be able to keep him out. Plenty of pressure, they took it and they threw it back.
So the residents in possession here, 25 metres out from their own line. The ball's come loose. Now we have a scrum coming up. Ball going to ground, and Sanavi Faitala is the offender here for the residents as we watch the replay. And just poor ball security on this occasion.
Well, plenty of defenders getting there, making it awfully a little difficult, and great do there going as well. It reminds me of Clinton Torpy with the radars going off.
I'll let you know when it's gone. Gone!
The Kiwis now come across to Motu Tony. Bangana with a little bit of space to work with. He comes back on the inside to set it up here for Big Vatuvai. Big tackle it was, the hometown hero, James Ward, making the tackle. So they're only 10 metres out here. Ohio showing it. Goes across to Ropati, skimming out wide. The 5'8" for the Kiwis now, trying to propel himself towards the goal line. Mannering moves into dummy half. The residents camped on their own goal line. They come the short side, the Kiwis, looking to barge his way. Adam Blair, he takes a buffeting from these goal line defenders. Kelvin Wright was in the thick of it for the residents. They come back across to Tony at first receiver. Nice footwork. And Gutenberg, he was entitled to catch the football, and the residents, they're off the hook.
Well, it was a nice start there by Motu Tony. Some good step, good feet, and then look for the offload. Just all came a little unstuck. But the residents again stay in the game. Defensively, they've been great on their line.
The tackle count, almost nothing in it here at Wingham Park. A little bit more possession for the Kiwis. This has certainly been a bold display from the residents, the fact that they've just conceded the 2 tries in the opening 45 minutes of this game.
Well, even when you throw in that last stat that we just saw with regards to possession favouring the Kiwis to be 10 down, they go well and they go wide as well. There's something on.
There is something on, and down, going straight down the field. The residents, Vuna for the corner. Vuna will not get there. Did Motu Tony make the try-saving tackle? No video referee here today. He sure did. Motu Tony saving 4 points in the corner. Cooper Vuna.
And he's a talentless youngster. Haven't seen the best of him. He got an opportunity. He came in, many thinking he might get a crack at fullback. Motu Tony just getting him there. Good eyes there by the man in the middle, Black. Motu Tony being able to get in there and just pull the arms back of Cooper Vuna. Unable to place the ball, losing control with the ball going to ground.
Well, the referee, in fact, the touch judge, from what we can deduct from all that, is ruled that Vuna put his foot on the line, so we have got a scrum. Otherwise, we should be coming back to the 20-metre line for the tap restart. Turakura sucking in the big ones, those lungs being filled up with some fresh air, no doubt.
Peter, you suggest Cooper Vuna is seriously a Kiwi option in the future. He had a huge game in Melbourne for New Zealand A, and as we've seen in this season for the Warriors, he certainly has blossomed with every game.
And plenty of motivation for many of these residents as well. A game like this, it's all about, allowing the Kiwis some preparation, but it's also about pushing your own cause, Cooper Vuna in mind.
Dean Hallertau finds Yosia Soliola. He goes to ground. Corey Laurie working overtime in defence. Here's a penalty. That was silly.
Hands out. Okay.
Just overzealous work from the defenders here. So they are marched in effect here with the touch finder.
Next line, this one. Go.
And good speed. Tame Tupou struggled to stay here with Cooper Vuna. It was a foot race.
Move, George. Here we are, here we are. Hold.
Back live now.
Out.
They are 30 metres out.
No more.
Kalis plays it back. It comes across this right side now. Gutenbiel. He will go to ground. 3 in the tackle. Shane Byers eventually gets rid of him. Row party looking for runners. They try to put a big shot here on David Fa'alongo. He goes to ground. 8 minutes gone, second stanza, 10-0 the score. Kiwis leading the residents, and Blair will split them, standing in the tackle. Can he offload? Not this time. The residents, again, camped on their own goal line. They swing it to this open side, and Row Party looking to set it up. And standing in the tackle, Goodenbeal. He'll play it back. One more to play with here. Hohire, the go-to man for the Kiwis. Cross-field kick. And up they go, bouncing ball. Residents have got it.
A knock on from Tui. It was in the field of play, knock on.
In fact,
scrum out here.
The residents have come up with the fumble. Samoa has been deemed to have knocked on the football.
And again, another good call by Glenn Black. Tui Samoa, guilty of just being able to get in there, not being able to fully recover the ball, get possession, forcing a knock on.
Go, Lance, let's go.
Here's Hohire going to Row Party. Score the opening try. He is 10 metres out.
No call, no call.
Hallertown, a Goodenbeal. He winds up, looking to promote the football before the line. Sucks in a couple of defenders. Make that 3. He is finished off again on the 10-metre line are the Kiwis. Hallertown across to Hohire with a dummy. No one is fooled.
3, get out there, 3.
4 metres out, if that. Row Party at first receiver. Turns it back for Motu Tony. He is a jack in the box. You can't slack it off because Motu Tony can score tries like that. This live wire customer, put him in 1, put him in 6, put him in 7, put him in 9, put him anywhere. He can get across the stripe. The Kiwis with their 3rd try of the afternoon at 14 blot.
And often when you get the tag utility, sometimes you find it doesn't work in your favour, but it's given them plenty of opportunities. Good feet, good footwork, and unfortunately perhaps when you least wanted, some bad defensive plays there, particularly online there by the residents. But still, the Kiwis not looking that comfortable, that confident, particularly coming from set play when they get inside their 20. That result there, not so much from being able to construct something, but more about a defensive deficiency in the resident side.
And he's in fact inherited the goal-kicking duties. They have relieved Lance Hohire of those obligations. Fair year he had, Motu Tony that is. Nathan Kalis not giving us his best look. That is obvious. Yes, he had a bumper season with the Hull FC club in the north of England. He has slotted the extras. Motu Tony converts his own try here at Wingham Park on the west coast. And in the second half, it's the Kiwis at 16-0.
An extra training going on sideline as well for the Kiwis, not getting the opportunity to rest when they come sideline, rather getting involved in either boxing or being thrown on the bike. Bluey McLennan making it quite clear that what he wanted was one of exhaustion, one of being tested, one of physically being put under all sorts of conditions. Boxing sideline, one of the first, Wingham Park.
James Ward, local boy, Ranunga, home of champions. Gets us back underway. A lot of the Ranunga people in the crowd here today. In fact, the Player of the Day Awards, of course, honouring former Kiwi himself, the late Bernie Green. Had the pleasure of catching up with the family last night here in Greymouth. Lovely family. And a special day for them as Hallertown goes straight through some paper-thin defence. Shut the gate. Lance Hohire will get it across the line. Hallertown with the break. Hohire the try. And that's more like the Kiwis the fans have come to expect here today. They get another one, and it's out to 20-0 with a sitter of a conversion coming up.
Well, the Coasters have been expecting something special from the gentlemen in the black and white. And maybe getting the back half of the game where it was always going to be a little testy there for the resident side. Dean Hallertown breaking out, good support play. He also had an option on the inside for Soliolo, and the crowd receiving it well. This is what they wanted, they want more. He's performed well coming out of the acting half today, Dean Hallertau. Many thought with Lance Ohio coming into the side that he could very well have found himself with the number 9. But Dean returning to where he was. Lance Ohio in the number 7 played well.
Well, it was around one area that I asked Bluey McKenna before the match that they really had to work on. That was around the ruck defence for the Kiwis. So the residents get caught out on this one. And I would suggest Bluey right now is happy that they're getting on the board, but probably a little down on intensity. But it must be hard, Pete, considering how you look at this game when it's not really a test.
Well, it's the closest thing you're ever going to get to being able to simulate a game, and you'd far prefer to be able to go through this. This is good opposition for them. They've always been expected to win and win comfortably. It was only a matter of when they were going to break away.
Motu Tony jogging back into position, having converted the Ohio try. And it's the Kiwis here at 22 points to 0. So 2 converted tries to the men in black since the resumption. Another restart for James Ward. Plenty of hang time at that.
And some good pressure applied by the residents. Well, plenty of numbers in the tackle, forcing all sorts of bother. Now look to them to respond with the defensive game, which will look to get up and get busy. And they do exactly that.
Here's Blair on the receiving end. This tackle count, 25 plays for. David Lomax certainly be getting the message out. A lot of those have come in the last few minutes with those back-to-back tries.
And some big advantage there in favour of the Kiwis. A lot of line breaks. Not all of them being able to end the right result. Many of them coming a little unstuck, falling down. But certainly starting to get some ascendancy now.
On the last, they go to Ho-High. He got rid of one. Yeah, he got rid of the footy. The kick, though, straight down the throat of the residents' fullback, Junior Oru. One of the excitement machines of the Bartercard Cup for the Waikawa Bay Stallions. He takes the tackle here. 15 minutes gone, second half. Here's a penalty. Ball spilling loose. Samoa was not at fault. Hence the penalty has been given by referee Black. And looking at that replay, you can't argue with that.
Assistant workers McDade from the Auckland Lions. Bartercard champions for 2006. Just keeps coming. George Turakura. He's given his all.
Another tank-like charge from Turakura. And now playing for a sortie is Johnny Limmer, the Cantabrian back rower, playing it back, and Byers is away. Canterbury connection.
And just needed someone on the end of that there for Calvin Wright. Just one more pass.
Beverly with a kick. And there's a mix-up at the back, a fumble at the back, and the residents have got the football through. Packer, 6 more here to play with. Just what the doctor ordered, searching for their first try of the afternoon. And they're very close. In fact, they have not scored the try. The ball's gone loose. Hayden Davis, the Wellington Orcas backup player who's come off the bench. How did he not score the try?
He came awfully close, but Black, he was right beside him. He couldn't have been in a better position to be able to judge on this one. This kid's just ripped in all afternoon. He loves it, and it's there. You can see where it's just dislodged.
Well, it's Motu Tony in his knee. Not a big knee, but a knee enough, the size enough to dislodge the football.
But he'll keep coming. He wants more. The young guns.
So now the residents are forced to defend yet again. Kiwis with the tap on the halfway line. David Fa'alongo. Tackle one into enemy territory by about 9 metres. His brother saying, get that into you. Big day for the family, without a doubt. Kalis, Jason, passing back to Tony, and now Ropati. Scheming, looking to split them now. He goes to ground.
No denying the Kiwis look good when they just peel off the ruck. 1, 2, go wide.
Ohio thought about the switch, comes across to Lowaki. Lowaki is chopped down. A copybook tackle it was. Lovely work from Limmer. Ohio, he shows it. Row Party, he runs it. That pass was flat, not forward in fact. Play continues, and the veteran himself, Gutenbiel, he helps himself to a 4-pointer. Perhaps the start of a procession here at Greymouth.
And it's always going to be difficult when this starts to happen. There is an inevitable result in this game, but they go wide. There's some good lead up here. Lance Ohio just orchestrating, directing. Jerome Row Party, yes, a hint of a forward pass here to Arwen. But it doesn't matter. They've given it 4 points.
No video referees here for this game today. Not, of course, that they can rule on forward passes, but it did look suspect from high above.
But some good lead up. They look good when they just peel off. The bookends just hitting on the edge of the ruck. 1, 2. They get good meters. They've been good in that department all afternoon.
A busy game for Gutenbiel. And from close range, Motu Tony makes no mistake. So since half-time, they've been going up in 6s. He converts the try scored by Gutenbiel, and it's the Kiwis coasting at 28 zip. Tumultuous week it has been for the New Zealand coach, Brian McLennan. A rare giggle and a rare shallow restart, but not enough toe on that. Let's get out the measuring tape, boys and girls. It wasn't quite the distance. Glenn Black can see the funny side. They took a punt, and it has cost them a penalty here on the halfway line.
Oh, there's nothing worse when you look to do something a little unorthodox and you just will it. You want it to get over, and it just doesn't quite get there. Discipline was the key at halftime for the Kiwis. When you're 28-0 up, it becomes even harder to ensure that you stay to the game plan.
Luaki on the back of that penalty from halfway. He's not too far away.
And lost it.
A fumble on tackle 1 as we approach the 1 hour mark. Epilahami Luaki.
And right on cue when you talk about discipline. Not quite sure where it all came unstuck. Ruben Wiki. A lot of defenders, a lot of attention. Ball security.
Kubavuna, who went perilously close to getting a try. Into the final quarter of this game. Don't forget the big game coming up later tonight. Should be a goodie too. Our coverage on Sky Sport 1 from 9:30. Kangaroos up against Great Britain in the Gillette Tri-Nations. We've got a penalty here against the Kiwis. Their discipline just for a moment, Peter, going out the window.
Well, back to back, not quite sure if that was the right call. But Black went to his touchy, and his touchies came up with the strip. Motu Tony certainly disagreeing, but it doesn't matter no more. The Residents got the ball. But you talk about that game coming up tonight. Great Britain, they've got 3 chances to find a result, and if they're going to find it, I would suggest it might very well be tonight.
Here's Beverly on the halfway line. Center of the ground, they come this left side. Davis, and they keep it going. Vuna down the sideline, floats it back in field, and the hometown hero has got the football. His name is James Ward. He plays it back. An opportunity now for the Residents. The fans would love to see them get across the stripe. Packer plays it back. Beverly promoting the football. They keep it going. Laurie's got it. He in turn offloads. Fiziati standing up a couple of would-be tacklers. And now he does take the tackle. 5th and final has been signalled by the referee Glenn Black. It comes back to Beverly, who's got the responsibility of creating something. The ball is deflected off a Kiwi, and they have survived here. The men in black, Gutenbiel it was, diving on the scraps.
They're survived by Cooper Vuna on cue. He's provided all sorts of questions on this left-hand side, but one who was willing to play the game there was Frankie Pritchard. He gave him half a metre and he stayed with him and then cleaned up on the inside as well. He's had a wonderful game here this afternoon, Cooper Vuna. Ball in hand, often threatening.
Less than 18 minutes to go. It was 10-0 at the split. And since then, 3 converted tries to push it out to 28 blot on the last. Ho Hyatt with a kick downtown. The Residents now bringing it back upfield through Oru, their fullback, and the custodian with an awkward collision there involving Soliola. Is Tui Samoa from the Harbour League Club in the New Look Bartercard Cup this year. The Residents, they've still got some willing workers and they've got a capacity to keep the ball alive. This is Cliff Beverley going to ground. On this occasion, Mannering making the tackle.
And it was a good tackle of that as well, because Beverley had numbers on its outside with a bit of space. Cooper Vuna has already shown that he can do something when it comes here. They come back to him again.
Beverley, a cutout ball, and it is Vuna who's got the footy. He has created some problems for the Kiwis here today. A bumping run, and they keep it going, but it goes backwards. In fact, Oru's got the football, and he will be called upon to play the footy here. Byers goes across, and now showing the football, Willie Heta. It comes out the back. Fizia, he's got it. They go for the corner. Some cover defence coming to the fore for the Kiwis. And they have got the football now. But again, some anxious moments for them.
Start looking at some of the performance for the Residents. Number 6, Heta, he's got some size about him, but he's got nice balance as well. Reminds me very much of a Kelly Shelford. Deceptive, plenty of time, they create. Cooper Vuna's been good, and also the fullback, Junior Aru. Impressive.
Vangana promoting the football, Lawaki. And Aidan Davis coming over the top there. Referee says there was nothing in it.
Been a nice battle here this afternoon with Lawaki and Davis. More often than not, the two coming together defensively, offensively.
Oru again seems to read the play awfully well, getting to the footy on the full, making things just a little bit easier for him.
Well, he's done nothing wrong. Positionally, he's always been there to collect the ball, always getting some meters on the carry, on the kick return, and defensively, it's been sound.
This is Ward playing the ball here. There's Oru, and you're talking about Peter. So they're across the halfway line thanks to the efforts of Sanavi Faitala. They come back this left side now, the Residents probing for a hole. Going to ground, Hayden Davis, the Wellingtonian. He plays it back. Beverley with the kick. Now the chase is on. And a fumble at the back. Frank Pritchard had to play at the football.
No, I think it was Jerome Roparty coming in. Frankie Pritchard was looking to shepherd him just to give him some cover. Perhaps giving a little spook. Cliff Beverley again with a nice little touch. His kicking game's been spot on.
Well, perhaps a let-off here too. Where was the offside call?
There's Jerome coming in there.
Jerome Roparty at the back. Pritchard, well, he played the football, and the Residents, they were blowing up. They thought it was a penalty.
Wait, take your scrum. Go.
They've got the ball at any rate. Fiziati, he keeps it alive. And Oru, the fullback, 5 metres out, could play the ball. And now charging and scoring the first try of the afternoon for the Residents, the Cantabrian back row forward, Johnny Limmer. They're on the board at last, the Residents. Celebrations for them. They have cracked the Kiwi defence at long last.
Well, reward for persistence. It played well this afternoon. At times the Kiwis been able to get over them. But here on the back of the mistake by Jerome Roparty on the inside 10, 15 metre. They go wide. And Junior Aru, he's played well. Persistence, and in the form of Johnny Limmer, he finds his 4-pointer.
Limmer with the 4-pointer, a reward for perseverance here at this venue, steeped in tradition, as the locals reminisce the good old days of rugby league on the West Coast.
The good old days, and you couldn't ask for a better day here. And
Yes, the likes of George Menzies and Jock Butterfield come to mind. The kick is a shocker. Butterfield, 99-game Kiwi, who, for the record, actually had his ashes spread across this ground. So much did he love the place. At 67-minute mark, it's 28 points to 4. There's more than 50 Kiwis coming out of this neck of the woods. The mill workers and the coal miners, do they love it or what?
But put it in the context, you're talking about a city of something like 8,000 people. And half of them are here this afternoon. Rugby league in the West Coast style.
This place that's really unique in the fact that it has more rugby league clubs than those of the 15-a-side variety.
I have never seen a place with more football grounds than what we've got down here. Along the banks of the river down here, they just stack up back to back.
Looking for back-to-back tries are the residents. Vuna, who's been arguably the most dangerous player on the park for the residents here today.
Surprised that he didn't want to take Frankie Pritchard on that one. He backed off. Frankie gave him half a metre on the outside. Cooper opted to go back on the inside. Been a great tussle.
Tuakura, human tank. No, he won't mind me saying that. The pleasure of catching up with him during his days in Queensland, where he played for the Comets in the local competition. That kick bouncing around, and eventually the Kiwis have got it. Pritchard from long range, looking to wind up. Good meters, excellent meters. Those legs pumping like pistons.
Well, I'm not quite sure where Frankie Pritchard's playing at the moment. We've got Jerome Ropati in the fullback position. Manu Vatve on one wing, and Frankie Pritchard looks as though he's spending most of his time playing wing on the right-hand side.
Yeah, that would be fair, Peter. I should have updated you earlier. Tamo Tuba sitting on the bench, and they pushed Frankie Pritchard out there, although Simon Mannering appeared to be spending some time out there as well. So they're just moving around.
Halatau plays it back. Wiki, Kiwi captain, keeps it alive. Hohai's got it. Not quite. He had it for a moment, and so did the residents, and they nearly fluffed it.
Unfortunate, because that could have been special. Some nice little touch off there by Ruben Wiki. Some good speed, carrying the ball. Good fence, and then a wonderful offload.
We are into the final 10 minutes of this one-off clash between the Crisco Kiwis and the residents. Kiwis spent basically the week here in the South Island, taking in the sights. Queenstown before making their way up here to the West Coast. That pass was very wayward, to say the least, and the Kiwis have got it. A little bit of fatigue starting to set in.
Starting to come in and taking its toll, but well recovered there by Nigel Vargano. It was a difficult ball to take at the ground. He did exceptionally well. The Kiwis again on attack through Roy Asatasi.
5 tries to 1 is the situation here at Greymouth. And New Zealand, the Kiwis, looking to run in a couple more at least here. They spread it out wide. The residents holding firm for a moment. Now they have to muscle up. Motu Tani looks for Wiki, and Jake the Muss will get it across from close range. He doesn't score too many. No wonder there's a smile. Wiki grabs try number 6 for the Kiwis, and they blow it out to 32 points to 4.
And there's a touch of class about things that Ruben Wiki does. In the previous play, the head up was good, and this was even better. It had a 4-pointer on the end of it. But some nice, good lead-up work by all of the forwards. They opted to go wide previous to this. It went to ground. It was a bit scrappy, but they came back to what they do best, off the ruck.
Wiki with the try, sitting in the 18 jersey here today. Both teams having 5 substitutes to play with unlimited interchange.
At one stage, Ruben wasn't going to be part of the lineup today. For many of the West Coasters, extremely happy that he's made himself available. He's played well.
Motu Tony, this versatile customer, as I alluded to earlier. Slight angle, he's got it all right. Another 2 in the bank for him and the Kiwis. Wickie's try is converted here at Wingham Park. And it's now 34 points to 4 with 7 minutes to go. Another restart for the residents, this time off the boot of Willie Heta. And this is Jason Kiwis launching himself at the residents' defensive line. Ohio says will come the blind side. Guttenbeil to play it back. Wickie hits it up. To halfway, in fact.
Good meters, simple, effective. And just keeping, when we made reference to just doing the simple things, playing to instruction.
Motutoni, he seizes an opportunity here. They're queuing up the Kiwis. Vangana back to Wickie. The old stages are combining. Wickie pushing the pass. Not sure it was necessary. The residents have got the football and they dodge a bullet on that occasion.
He'd be disappointed with that one. There would have been a smile on his face. He was so close. It would have been a good end to a good movement. Started right up down the other end of the football field. The residents just looking to hang in on this game right now. 6 to go.
6-5 the penalty count favouring the Kiwis with just over 5 to go here. Laurie goes to ground. Big month coming up for him. Off to the big smoke. Joining up with the Warriors. Giving the club a little bit of depth in the back row. Playing it back, Cliff Beverley. They come the open, or short side, I beg your pardon. The ball's gone down, and that's excellent work. Good read in defence from Mannering there, forcing the mistake and following it up. He got the footy.
Had a wonderful campaign to date, Simon Mannering. Moving into a lock position at the moment, playing on the wing. Defensively, it's been a highlight.
Motutoni serves up the pass for Jason Kiwis, passing before the line, and really Wickie, I'm not sure if he knocked it on. It doesn't matter because the residents have got it. They're trying to create something out of nothing here. This is Fa'alongo, Sala that is. Jason Kiwis back in the line, looking to muscle up again in defence here in the dying stages of this one-off showdown between the Kiwis and the residents. Quick play, the ball provided. Byers with a sortie from dummy half. Crossing halfway in the process.
Criticism of the Kiwis this afternoon at times. Guilty of looking to overplay to push. When they do just consolidate, show some patience, they've been good.
Laurie providing the second phase. Samoa, he can motor. What a tackle that was though. Lance Ho-Hire with a copybook display of cover defence.
Certainly poses some interesting selection decisions for next week. You're getting a little bit of an insight. We're seeing Lance Ohio start in the kicking department. The residents go wide. Tui Samoa shows some good pace, but Lance Ohio, Costa, as you said, some good cover D. But plenty of selection decisions, and I guess a lot of discussion throughout the week as to what the final lineup would be up against Great Britain and Wellington.
Well, it's the make or break game, to be blunt. The Lions, as we all know, in battle against the Kangaroos tonight. Great Britain chasing their first win of the series. The Kangaroos undefeated. Big crowd expected at the Cake Tin next week. It's do or die. And the Kiwis now looking to close this one out with a little bit of a statement, an underscore, call it what you like. This is Halatau. He promotes the football, but it's that man once more, Cooper Vuna, who has really said, have a look at me, selectors, here this afternoon. Every time he's got the ball, Cooper Vuna, he has cause some headaches. And defensively, as we saw there just a moment ago, he snuffed out a couple of raids as well.
Well, he's a player that came with a big reputation a couple of years ago as one of the rising young stars. Season perhaps didn't pan out for him last year. We saw him at the back end. But over the last 2-3 weeks, seen some good quality coming out of the young wingman Cooper Burner.
But it's gone forward when you stripped it. White ball.
Yeah, it's a knock on here against the Kiwis. Playing at the ball there, Blair, who took a buffeting early on. A little bit of a scare it was, in fact, for the Kiwi Brains Trust and the medical staff. So 6 more coming up here for the residents with just over 90 seconds to go at Greymouth.
And players pushing for selection next week to be included. The likes of Adam Blair, Arwen Gutenberg certainly hasn't hurt his chances. He's played strong.
Aitken. Centre 3/4, 8 metres. Kiwi side of halfway. That was a shocking play of the ball. Too much interference according to Glenn Black. 6-6 the penalty count as the residents find the line. Or do they? Just.
Touch, guys, it's a scrum.
We're going to have a scrum here, in fact. A legitimate touch by the Kiwis. Loose head and feed coming up to the residents as we move into the final 60 seconds.
Nice clock out, guys, so plenty of time. I'll take this scrum.
And look to number 5, Cooper Werner, to be the man that could be their go-to if they're to finish the game on a flow. They go the short side.
Viziai on tackle 1, rounded up by Hohire. Laurie, the loose forward, hands it on to Johnny Limmer, who has scored the solitary try for the residents here today on the 10-metre line. Byers says we're not finished with just yet. Beverly's got it. Over the top she goes. Big loopy pass. Bouncing ball for Vuna. Has to stop. Collect it. Now he takes the tackle. 20 metres out. We've got a siren going in the background, although the clock says we're 10 seconds short of full time, so some confusion here. We get a kick away off the boot of Beverly. A bouncing ball. Gutenberg has got it off the bounce and will go to ground in the final play of the game on this historic day at Wingham Park in Greymouth on the west coast. This heartland of rugby league turning out in good numbers to see the Kiwis. They've done a good job here today, a brave New Zealand residents, but in the end class has prevailed. The Kiwis 6 tries to 1. They win it 34 points to 4. 10-0 it was at half-time. It was a very courageous performance from the residents in that opening 40 minutes. Brian McLennan, I'm sure he would have been much pleased to see what transpired in that second 40. They did concede the 1 try, but without a couple of their stars today, they have done pretty good after 80 minutes. Let's go downstairs. It was a big afternoon for Lance Hohire, and the Huntley Hurricane is standing by with Stephen.
Lance, nice to be back in a Kiwis jumper.
Yeah, I got the call up Wednesday from Bluey. Said he needed me to come down and be part of the team again, and yeah, I'm just really rapt to be out on the field with the boys.
Specific job today?
Not really. I only got here yesterday and haven't had a training run with the team, so it's just a matter of getting out there and trying to help these boys get some conditioning and hopefully put myself in frame for test selection next week.
Well, mate, you played okay because you're the local player of the day. You pick up a Bernie Green Memorial medal, so I'm going to let you go do that, but nice to see you back in black.
Thanks, mate. It's good to be here.
Terrific to see him back. Missed 5 games for the Warriors last season. He has had injury concerns in more recent times. Getting the try. Great support player he is. And great to see him back. I'm sure his dad, Rex, would be tickled pink with that.
Just a quick word, Costo, down here in the middle of the track while both sides are talking about the role that each has played in the Tri-Nations preparation. Nathan Kalis does have a very badly busted nose. It hasn't been able to stop bleeding, so I just spoke to the doc. They're taking him off to Grey Hospital for further tests because they're just a little concerned. He said he is one tough bugger, but the fact that it is still bleeding, they're just going to get x-rays to check there's no facial damage.
Well, there he is, showing the scars of battle. Former New Zealand Test captain himself. So a precautionary visit to the hospital for Kalis. as a result of the game here today. There's always going to be a concern that as to how big the casualty ward might be. 6 tries to 1. Good game of footy, a chance for some of these up-and-coming stars of the Bartercard Cup to show their wares.
Easy words, Steve. Hey, mate.
Let's go downstairs again, and Stephen, you've got a special guest.
Special guest indeed. He certainly stood up for the residents, Cooper Verney. You must be happy with your form right now today, Coops.
Oh, it's good. Coming out of the New Zealand Aid, and still had a bit of fitness in there. Come out and have a blowout with the boys. It was good.
Yeah, do you feel like you're testing yourself against the big guns?
Well, yeah, as the coach said inside, it was 1 step away, so tried to play like it was 1 step away, and it was good.
Yeah, what did you tell me say? Do you think you're 1 step away or 2?
Oh, thought I was 2 steps away, but I'll get there.
Well played, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Certainly was well played. He was like a thorn in the side for Brian McLennan and the Kiwis. And unlucky not to score a try right now. We're going to go to a break. Stick with us. More to come after this. 34-4 at the final. Well, how rare is that? The two combatants with a post-match haka delighting the fans here at Wingham Park. More to come from the West Coast right after this. Welcome back to Wingham Park here in Greymouth, where the Kiwis have reigned supreme. 34-4 at the final, where the fans are rubbing shoulders with their heroes. There was the Bernie Green Memorial Medal up for grabs here this afternoon. The winner for the residents is standing by with Peter.
Well, Hayden, firstly, congratulations on the medal, the man of the match. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was an awesome game, eh? Oh, awesome for them anyway, but some big boys.
Mate, talk about big boys, you're no midget either, mate. But a great opportunity for you to play up against some of the best players in the game.
Yeah, it is. I watch these guys every week, I idolise them, but to come up against them, yeah, it's 1 in a million. It's awesome, eh?
Mate, when you play Bartercard and then you get the opportunity on this one, a big step up.
Yeah, it was. I got a phone call at work and just stopped working, started walking around, eating rubbish, and had the sweats. Yeah.
But you enjoyed it, though. It was a good opportunity.
Yeah, I loved it. It was awesome.
Well done on the man of the match, and wish you all the best, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Hayden.
Yes, that award honouring 1980 Kiwi Bernie Green, who died tragically in a coal mining accident here on the West Coast just 2 months ago. Let's go downstairs once more, and Stephen is with a couple of brothers in arms.
Well, it's not often you get two brothers having a crack at each other. There's Salah Fa'alonga and David Fa'alonga. Well, Salah's the oldest, so he gets the first crack at the interview. What was it like coming up to your baby brother?
Oh, you know, it's just buzzing up playing against him, eh? It's pretty hard.
Well, now you get the chance. What was it like playing against the old man?
It was a good hit out. You know, it's the first time we've played against each other, and it's nothing good than playing against your older brother.
Yeah, well, tell me about that, Salah. I mean, are these the things, the mini dreams you have when you to think of your brothers, you know, in a Kiwi jumper, you're in a residence jumper, and this is the first time you played against each other?
Oh, yeah, no, it's just an honour to play against my brother. You know, it's been a long time. I think the last time we played together was with Mount Albert, so this is my first time playing against them.
You're a proud brother that he's a Kiwi?
Yeah, very proud.
Right, well, mate, you've got a lot of work to do. Wellington next week. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, two boys doing the Mount Albert Club mightily proud. Okay, let's go back down to Stephen, and he has been busy. He is now with a man who set up the first try here this afternoon.
Thank you, Costa. Adam Blair is one of the brightest stars on the rugby league horizon. We've already seen him in one test. We didn't see him last week, and we saw him again today. First things first, left ankle, slight sprain, everything good?
Yeah, no worries. I got through the game, so it's all good.
Yeah, well, what did you think of the performance out there? What was the instructions from Bluey from the get-go?
Oh, you know, just to try and improve around the ruck, you know, keep it all tight and just stick to our game plan, and hopefully everything will go right.
It's been a hell of a year for you. How are you enjoying the Kiwis environment? And I suppose the fact that we're in Greymouth, being in a real true rugby league heart.
Yeah, the Kiwi experience has been pretty good, you know, just mingling with all the boys, and, you know, haven't really played with any of the boys before, so it's been good playing with all the boys, and Rube's is a good leader, so I look up to him quite a lot, and, you know, be down here with all the fans, and it's good fun.
All right, well, we might just see you on the field in Wellington, okay?
Yeah, hopefully. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
good fun indeed for the former Northland schoolboy. And this was just beautifully done. First try of the game, row party. All he had to do was motor towards the line, and he did exactly that to get us underway here today at Wingham Park. First try of the afternoon against the residents. Don't forget the Tri-Nations continues tonight. This game between the Kangaroos and the Lions, live from Aussie Stadium. Big one from Morley, I expect. 9:30 p.m. tonight. It's live on Sky Sport 1. All right, we're done from up here. Time for the boys to put a lid on this one. Peter and Stephen, take it away.
Thank you, Costa. And I'm sure just one thing before we come back down to us. So, Costa, you must have enjoyed being in one of the true gold mining, coal mining areas of New Zealand Rugby League, yes?
Well, I tell you what, it brought back memories for yours truly, plying my trade on the central Queensland coalfields, and yeah, it certainly turned back the clock. My sister is in Blackwater, the coal capital of Queensland, so yeah, not foreign ground for me from that point of view, but certainly enjoyed my time here on the West Coast.
As always, enjoyed the call too.
I'm just concerned, Costa, there's a 20-kilo allowance for baggage when you fly, and when you've got 40-kilo weight weight in your stomach, you're in big trouble.
How we got 40 kilos beyond me, because they're very protective of their whitebait catches around here. In fact, they never tell you exactly how much they've caught. It's a local rule. You just quietly put the top on the chili bin. Pete, I've got to go back to this game today. I don't know if what we saw from the Kiwis. I'm just unsure what we got.
Well, I think we saw passages of good play, particularly I think when they got back to doing what they do very effectively, and that's just rolling off the ruck. Some good stuff there, but they got a hit out, you know, and the fact that at this stage they looked as though they've come through unscathed without injuries, that's got to be a plus as well.
I don't mind saying to you, and we spoke to him in our post-match interviews, Cooper Vuna stands out. Yeah, he stands out, doesn't he?
Cooper Vuna, every time he got the ball, he posed some questions defensively. He was outstanding. I think go back to the Kiwis. At times I thought they were a little uncomfortable, particularly when they came from set play. They turned it over a couple of times. Yeah, the wide game perhaps wasn't as effective. The people here today were looking for the big tries, looking for tries that come from wide. It was probably more in the middle that they excelled.
And now we ask the question, you have suggested it already, if the Pom's going to get one tonight.
Mate, if they're going to win one, they're so fortunate that they've got 3 opportunities to find one. And if they're going to find it, but they're not going to get it next week. And I don't think when you play Australia that you're going to get back-to-back again. So if they're going to get one, it's going to be tonight.
And that will be at 9:30 tonight on Sky Sport. We are done and dusted here from Wingham Park in Greymouth. It has certainly been an experience and certainly been an occasion, and the locals have turned out. They will talk about this one for a long, long time. The Kiwis triumph over the residents, but tonight we see how far they go.